Young men and women, with the pillars, with the future, here we are, let's join together. With ability to change communities, with love, with peace, to respond to our need, to call for unity. Africa, hear me cry, never leave me alone. As I see light in a brighter future, let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and women.
I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, vijana wa Afrika wote waungana. Vijana vijana kutoka mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, hata na kati, twaja pamoja ili tufanye nini?
So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Hello, Kunjani. Search Bakai. Kiana. Bravo. Amahoro. Mambo.
Okay, here we are again. Good evening and good afternoon, Africa, wherever you are. Welcome to the Africa Youth Pulse Check-in. My name is Sebastian, Segawa Ivan Sebastian. I am your gracious host. And today we are back with yet another session of the check-in, checking the pulse of the continent. But today's focus is going to be specific to the region of the East African community. Not that, saying that does not mean that we do not want input from everyone around the continent, but first I want to say that we are going to be having a discussion of that campaign we talked about. I think in the last check-in we were here, where we had interventions towards the elections that are incoming in Kenya, and that is the One Young EAC for Kenya campaign that we are running with the hashtag Kenya ya Amani. I have news for you guys, because at the time we're looking for people to support in leading these campaigns and these interventions at both country levels, but also at a regional level. And today I'm here to unveil the team. And I see Bossman is already here with us, ready to share. I am shocked though that Daniel's lighting is better than mine. I clearly need to work on enhancing my environment. But very quickly, I am just going to ask the people that are with me for now to make introductions, and after that I'm going to play a small video and then we shall get underway. Daniel, over to you.
All right. I hope today my audio is clear.
It is. I hope it doesn't break. It usually breaks.
You know, last time was hectic, but you know, I really appreciate Sebastian. I know we've always wanted to do this, but because of busy schedules, this is the right day, and I really appreciate. I welcome everyone on board on this Youth Africa Youth Pulse check-in for Kenya Money Campaign, and I really appreciate the time and dedication towards this campaign. So I'm really grateful.
Thank you so much. Like I said, we are just starting with a quick round of introduction. This is Daniel Njuguna. He is an OG of the Pulse check-in. But I just want to request Chelsea to make quick introductions, also her guy to make quick introductions, and then we shall dive into the conversation of the day. Chelsea, are you able to hear me?
Like, you know, television.
Chelsea?
Yes. Hi.
Just quick introductions and the country you're in, and then we shall move on.
All right. Good evening. I'm Chelsea Nyumba Baguma, and I am the Deputy EAC's ambassador representing the Republic of Rwanda. And nice to meet you all.
Thank you, and you're most welcome, Chelsea. Hagai, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can. Loudly.
Okay, Hagai, I think I'm having a problem connecting with you. I don't know whether it's just me or everyone is facing a similar challenge hearing him.
Yeah, can't really hear him.
Hagai, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Okay. I can hear you, but I think your audio is a little hazy. I don't know whether it's an issue with the microphone of your handset. I'm not sure. But all right. I think we shall get back to you in a bit. But before we go into the peace campaign, it would be very unfair of me to start this check-in without telling you what is happening on the continent. We are hosting the Commonwealth, and guess who is at the front of?
Yay!
Yes, the Republic of Rwanda is hosting the Commonwealth, and we have so far had a very successful, I think, Commonwealth Youth Forum, where our youth leaders in all Commonwealth countries convened in Rwanda to pave a way forward for youth development and youth agenda, and how we can come together as young people in all the Commonwealth countries to further the youth agenda. I think that was that was very, very productive on that side. I want to say that as EAC Youth Ambassadors, we had representatives going to the Republic of Rwanda to be part of the Commonwealth Youth Forum. But also as a region, all our youth councils were represented there. So for young people in East Africa, you are safe. But even when we get to the African continent, we did have the Pan-African Youth Union representatives there. So it's fair to say that the voice and the interests of young people on the continent were duly and ably represented in the Commonwealth Youth Forum. After the Youth Forum, we did have the Commonwealth Business Forum, and today is when heads of states of the Commonwealth countries are jetting into Rwanda ahead of the now Commonwealth Heads of States meeting. And saying that, I will never stop saying that my patriotism sometimes gets the better of me. Today, a grand statement, in my opinion, has been made when the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, entered Rwanda using the road. And you guys remember that border that was closed? Yeah, the one that was opened. Yes, the president used that border to enter Rwanda. It was an interesting view, and it was overwhelming to see how many Rwandan citizens were waiting on the roads to show solidarity, to show appreciation and support, and that in itself is a big statement. It's groundbreaking for the interest, but also for the spirit of integration in the EAC. So, however biased I may be that it was the Ugandan president involved, as an East African, I think I'm truly excited by the visuals that side. I hope that before we end, I will be able to share some of those photos with you so that, you know, I can put a face to what I am saying. That said, Chogam is happening here, so if you are not following keenly, you're being unfair, as noting that majority of the African countries are party to the Commonwealth. But also the other thing that will be happening on the African continent is the conference of parties which discusses climate change. It will be happening sometime in November in Cairo, Egypt. So it's fair to say that this year, Africa is convening the whole world. And if this year we do not get our interests up front and on the table, I don't see the year we shall do that. Because as hosts, I'm a football fan, and we usually say that home advantage can never be messed with. So we have the advantage. Let's go for it. Okay. For now, I see that some of our other guests are joining in. Guests, I encourage that you turn on your videos, at least for a split second, so that we can put a face to the voice. Then you can turn off later. I understand that we have connectivity challenges for some of us where we are coming in from. But to give an introduction to the team that I am hosting today, I am just going to play a solidarity peace message from the Secretary General of the East African Community, Honorable Dr. Peter Mathuki. Take a listen.
Dr. Peter Mutuku Mathuki, Secretary General of the East African Community. Today I was hosting the National Youth Council's chairpersons and indeed all the youth, and they are carrying a very important message of peace, especially peace in elections in Kenya and indeed peace in the entire East Africa. And we want to encourage the youth to carry that banner of calling for peace, but also participating in policy issues and matters that affect integration in our community. Thank you.
So that then opens up our conversation that we are having today. That was Honorable Dr. Peter Mathuki, and that video was taken on the day we were launching the Kenya ya Amani Peace Campaign. It was taken in Arusha, where we had a hybrid launch for this campaign. We did have youth leaders in the region, specifically the National Youth Council chairpersons, go to Arusha. We also had our own EAC youth ambassadors from the Republic of Kenya join these youth leaders, and they met the Secretary General of the EAC, and later in the day, they also met up with Yala Speaker, Right Honorable Martin Goga, who ultimately launched this campaign. The campaign has been running from 20th of March, which means that if you have not yet tweeted or gone to Facebook or to the Gram or to LinkedIn to say anything in solidarity with Kenya, get out of here. What are you doing? So I'm just going to introduce the team. And after introducing the team, we shall see the best ways to have everyone participate. And this is how I'm going to do it. It's interesting how much has gone, how much time has passed by. But you guys remember when we made a formal call for colleagues to take lead on this campaign in the region. I want to say that we did have successful candidates come through, and I want to introduce the head of this campaign, who will in turn introduce the team. The campaign manager for the Kenya ya Amani campaign, for all the good work you have been seeing happening. I think later on in the pulse check-in, we shall have Daniel break down what has so far happened and what they intend to have going forward as the team that is leading on this campaign. But Daniel Njuguna, like I said, an OG of the pulse check-in, emerged as the champion for leading this campaign as the campaign manager for the One Young EAC for Kenya. You're most welcome, Daniel. And then I think after you can introduce the team. I see that there were some members that are joining now that were not here when we were making introductions. And perhaps we can throw a minute or so for them to make introductions, because at the end of the day, I see very many faces that are my bosses. So I am also sort of in the brightness here. So over to you, Daniel. Just tell us a brief about the campaign, and then you can quickly introduce the team you are working with.
All right, thank you, Seba. You know, Seba have been my guy from day one. He's an OG as well. So thank you so much, Seba, the East African Community Youth Ambassador Regional Coordinator, and I really appreciate you this evening. This campaign that started way back in March is meant to actually steer electoral peace in Kenya, that is as we approach the August 9 polls. And this is where the whole of East African youth are coming together in solidarity to support and preach peace as we approach the August polls. And it has been amazing. It's been great working with the whole team, an exciting team, an amazing team from all 7 member states, from Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, South Sudan, and as well as DRC that was just, included into the East African community. And we really appreciate having them on board because, DRC is a great, great, great country, as you all know, despite everything that you've been seeing on media and all over. DRC still stands to be a great country and a major contributor to the East African community. Therefore, I really appreciate the good work that this team has been doing on all social platforms, physical, and I think going forward, we are going to realize the dream that the East African community and the East African community youth ambassadors, as well as the You Lead Africa, they envision at the end of the August 9 polls, that is peace, peace, peace. And, as the Holy Book says, happy are the peacemakers. And therefore, I want to introduce the team that I've been working closely with. Apart from Sebastian, Sebastian have been on the sideline, supporting the campaign in all manner of things, and I really appreciate. I want to introduce the country mobilizer for Kenya. I think Nemo. Yeah, Nemo, raise your hand if you can hear me. She's smiling. She's smiling. That means she can hear me. I mean, Nemo is a young, passionate African who been working closely with, and I think Nemo just in a minute you can introduce yourself and then you can be heard. Thank you so much, Nemo. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for that introduction, and Seba as well. So I think as previously mentioned, my name is Nimo Manyara, or Ejimo Manyara, and I'm the current country mobilizer for Kenya. I'm also the EAC Youth Ambassador to Kenya, and I think that's how mainly I interact in terms of the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform. I think I was at the launch in Arusha for the campaign, and I'm very excited about it because I think we saw engagement with the NYC, and so far so good. I think a lot of the online interaction we've been having has been amazing, and I think it's thanks to everyone who's present. So yes, asante.
Thank you, Nemo. Nemo is a very intelligent lady, as you can see her right there. And she's the East African Community Youth Ambassador for Kenya, as well as the Kenyan mobilizer on this peace campaign that is on board right now. So thank you so much, Nemo, for the wonderful job that you've been doing all along. Thank you so much. I see Princess. I think Princess is on board, I think, if I'm not wrong. The Princess, I'm not very sure that she's smiling, I think.
Hi.
Yeah, carry on.
Hello, I'm Princess Mshiti, mobilizer to Uganda, as well as Youth Ambassador to Uganda for the East African community.
Carry on kindly. Internet will always humble you. She's experiencing the same. On the far end, I think we're having Leicester, if I'm not wrong, from Burundi.
Daniel, I think Esther dropped. She was here, but she dropped, so we can carry on as we wait for her.
All right. Hagai Kambere from DRC. I think you can turn on your camera and introduce yourself. Kambere Hagai is from DRC and the country mobilizer for DRC towards the campaign. And we are very glad to have DRC represented. And I think Hagai, you can carry on and introduce yourself.
Thank you, dear Daniel. I'm really happy to join the team. And as it was said by Sebas, we are now new in the community, and we hope to enjoy to take part to this great community of East Africa community. I'm Kambere Wasira Hagai, the country mobilizer of DRC for DRC Congo.
Hagai, I think your microphone is kind of not very much audible, but I think for those who are very keen, we've heard what you just said, but I think maybe you can rectify on that and you can come up again maybe later on. But I appreciate your presence. Hagai Kambere is a great guy from DRC and an exciting guy to work with. I see Eben.
Hi guys, am I audible?
Eben's camera is too close to the head, and I think. Oh.
Yeah, I'm literally just chilling here at home. Yeah, it's a good Thursday evening, and I'm glad to be here. My name's Eben Mzava. I am the country mobilizer for the United Republic of Tanzania, but I'm also the East African Community Youth Ambassador to Tanzania. It's a great honor to be here. I'm expecting vibes, great stuff. It's been an honor to be part of the campaign thus far. I've learned a lot about Kenya. I've learned a lot about the EAC. I've learned a lot about the meaning of peace and what it means for Tanzania, but not only Tanzania and other countries as well. So I just hope everyone's gonna learn, everyone's gonna have fun, and I'm glad to be here.
Wow, amazing from Eben. Eben East African Community Youth Ambassador to Tanzania and also country mobilizer for Tanzania towards the campaign. And I appreciate your time, Eben, as you've introduced yourself. I think it's a great honor to see young people coming together for a common cause, and that's none other than peace. And I think I really appreciate Eben for your time. Princess, I think you're on board. Kindly turn on your camera and introduce yourself, Princess, if you can hear me. Yeah, this is a bunch of amazing young people that I am working very closely with to deliver the peace campaign as we approach the August 9 polls in Kenya. So Princess, kindly if you can. Wow, even now we can we can see you clearly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put my head inside the camera. So tell me if I'm not in frame.
Everyone should copy Nemo. Nemo is very stable. Wow. So Princess, if you can hear me, kindly carry on and introduce yourself and where you come from and what you do in this campaign. Kindly carry on.
Okay, Daniel, I do think that Princess has dropped, but at least we have got a feel of the representation in every EAC partner state. It is specifically exciting that we do have representation from the DRC that has just joined the EAC. At least as young people, we shall lead this integration agenda and ensuring that when our leaders commit, we ensure that we include those that have been committed to us. That said, I just want to have a quick question to everyone, and I know that Nemo will be joining another critical engagement later. I just want to pick your mind. I think this is going to be a general question. I'll come back to you, Daniel, but Nemo, I want to start with you. What triggered you to say that, all right, I want to stand as the person championing this campaign in my country? What went through your mind? What inspired you to do that?
Thank you for that question, Sebastian. I think the first thing is my identity in itself, given the fact of just being a young person in Kenya, who are generally a large population, but underrepresented generally when it comes to the political process and in leadership positions, but also in addition to that, being an intersectional person, which is also a woman who's a young person. And so that just makes you sort of not as represented, for example, as maybe your male youth counterparts. So I think just first, not only spearheading this, but also just having a voice specifically and a gendered perspective as to this campaign strategy. But also, secondly, given the fact that I think this is not necessarily just from a national perspective and it being a regional project, I think that's what interested me the most, because I think people generally tend to view elections as a very national and political process. But I think even through a lot of the engagements we've been having, right, countries like South Sudan, countries like Uganda, are inadvertently affected by the elections that we have in Kenya. So yes, I'd say my identity, but also secondly, because even, for example, as a young person, maybe I'm most likely going to be affected by any form of violence or any form of occurrence that generally is going to happen due to either the instability in elections or any form, right? So just the fact that I'm most likely to be impacted and I'm most likely to be underrepresented, I think it sparked my interest towards this campaign, and that's why I'm like very proud and championing it. Thank you.
Okay, okay. That's an interesting insight. I am now curious to learn why other people join the campaign. Eben, I think the question will quickly jump to you.
Right. Thank you very much. Well, necessarily, I feel as if, just as Nemo said, a lot of people, a lot of youth are rarely represented in such platforms. But also, in my perspective, the reason why, first of all, I joined the ambassadors platform, or I applied to join the ambassadors, is to be that voice of representation that really lacks amongst the youth. And I really do believe that a lot of youth do stuff. A lot of youth do things because, um, for the most part, they may not know why what they're doing or the impact that it has for them. So, for example, as Tanzania, um, we have a very strong relationship with our Kenyans. Kwa Kiswahili tunaita watani. I know, like, Sebastian didn't understand what I said, but it just
Ouch,
means
ouch.
it means like, they are very close friends, and we at times joke around with Kenyans because of the Kiswahili. No offense, Nemo, but then basically. But basically, it means as if, even when you go to like Twitter, when you go to social media, we support a lot, or amplify some of the voices that are said in Kenya. So even when it comes to matters of violence and the likes, it's very important for people to know that they're not just tweeting, they're not just retweeting, and they're not just liking or commenting, and that they're actually building onto something even greater. So it's very important, as a campaign manager, to ensure that as many Tanzanians as possible understand the effect of whatever they do, and how that affects the Kenya elections, and how that will inevitably affect the Tanzanians themselves. So I think that's really why I got on board.
Okay, this is inspiring. I really hope that all the young people, for example, in Kenya and Tanzania, have this likeness of thought, because, whew. All right, this is going to be interesting, and specifically because, in youth spaces, I personally think that political correctness should not be accepted. We need to discuss matters as they are. That is a disclaimer before I speak to Hagai. Hagai, we know that DRC is new to the EAC, but we also know that it has been marred by insecurity, unfortunately. And I just want to pick your mind. What does it mean for you to get on board and preach the spirit of peace, and how young people can come together to harness peace, even if it is not in your country? Because I know that scale of mobilization in itself creates some level of awareness, like Eben has shared that, for example, during this campaign, he has done so much research about Kenya and TZ interrelations, about peace and how people can plug in. I want to know, what does it mean for you, and what went through your mind when you saw that call? What triggered you to apply to be a country mobilizer for your country, to speak for peace and mobilize youth around the peace conversation? Is it me, or we can't hear Hagai?
Cannot hear him.
I don't know whether that is you trying to correct your handset or trying to speak in it, but we still can't hear you. And don't feel bad. Daniel has had similar challenges for a long time. No harm intended, but
I think his voice is still trying to be part of the EAC integration. You know, we're still waiting on that.
No problem.
Hagai, are you able to hear us at least? You can use the chat, the chat we have here, to confirm whether you can hear us. Okay, Hagai, we are going to circle back to you. I want to bring in now Chelsea. Chelsea's a favorite to me, and yeah, it's exciting to get to ask her a question. Chelsea, we know, like I said, political correctness is not something that I facilitate on the pulse check-in, and we know that Rwanda has been trying so much to foster the spirit of brotherhood in the region. We recently had Rwanda lift the closure that was on the border between Uganda and Rwanda. And like I said in the opening today, the president of the Republic of Uganda used that border to access Rwanda. It was a magnificent view. If you have not seen it, you're unfair to yourself. Go seek it out. However, we also know that there has been so much commitment at least at the summit level, where the recently concluded conclave of security on the DRC happened in Kenya, hosted by the chair of the summit. And we also know that there has been conversation of some sort of standoff between the Republic of Rwanda and the Republic of DRC. Yet we still see that there is commitment from the political leaders in ensuring that we have a peaceful region. So with that little background, I want to come to you, Chelsea, and ask you, as a young person and a young leader, as a deputy youth ambassador in Rwanda, what came into your mind? What do you think is going to be your contribution, or is already your contribution, as a champion for this One Young EAC campaign for Kenya? Because I know that ultimately it spills over for you. Yesterday, I think in the space of DRC, conversations were around the impact of insecurity in one country of the EAC and how it spills over to all the other countries, not necessarily in insecurity, but in other different agendas. So Chelsea, for you, what triggered you to say, okay, I need to be the face of this campaign in my country?
All right. Thank you, Seba. You're also my favorite, just so you know. Anyways, first and foremost, what really triggered me as a young youth, but also as a girl, Rwanda, we are more empowered as women to be part of different things. So I wanted to be part of something like this because it will give me more insight on political knowledge, especially in Kenya. And I was also amazed by the fact that one of the vice presidents that is running for the candidacy is also a young woman. No, I don't think she's a young woman, but
Nemo, you need to collaborate this information for us.
She's a woman. But anyways, I needed to have that political insight and knowledge, and also empower young girls in Rwanda to also feel like they could be part of such a campaign and know that they're going to learn different things in Kenya and what exactly is happening. And I also thought and I was also sure that it will help us know it was fair and legitimate, and it will, I believe, having the youth be part of international youth such as Rwanda be part of an election observation would also help us, and would also consider to be legitimate, and also think it will reduce fraud and increase on the domestic confidence. Basically, that's one of the reasons I wanted to be part of this campaign. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know that Nemo, you have to drop. Whenever you have to, please let us know so that we can allow you to say cheers to us before you leave. I hope that's not now.
Sorry, Sebastian. Thank you so much for the opportunity of being here. Yes, I might have to drop now.
All right, thank you so much for making the time to be with us. I'm sure we shall have more check-ins where we can host some of these brilliant minds one-on-one, and then we can extract really the gist of their thought process. But now I see that the ambassador to Burundi has joined us. She's also, I think, lead mobilizer there. But before I come to you, Luis, of course, you know I'm definitely going to mention that you are a Taekwondo star, only second to me, I believe. But before I come to you, Princess, I want to come over to you. I've always said that I find that your name is interestingly unique. But Princess Ishuti, like she introduced herself, she's the Deputy EAC Youth Ambassador for Kenya, but she is also the country mobilizer for Uganda, my bad. For Uganda, shame on me. I come from this country. I should know who the face of the campaign is. But Princess, if you can hear us, I just want to pick your mind again that you as a young lady, and the interesting thing about this campaign is that we have majority of young women leading the mobilization in their countries. It is very, very interesting. And Princess, I want to borrow your mind. What triggered you to come and say, okay, I want to now do that, run the campaign, or be the face of this campaign in the Republic of Uganda?
I hope I can. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I wanted to say one of the triggered me to be campaign or be the face of the campaign in Uganda is over time Uganda itself we see a lot of violence happening as a result of elections or election time, and it is not something I want to see happen to other countries or even to Uganda. So it was more like I wanted to push for peaceful ways for like the entire region to have a peaceful way through elections rather than the violence that we are used to or the acts that we see happening in the time. And also the fact that I wanted to also encourage young girls to be part of such campaign, encouraged to be part of that change the narrative or change the perceptions that people are used to. Yeah, that's mostly it.
Thank you so much, Princess. I know she will kill me for this, but you need to say that Princess is also the youngest mobilizer we have on the team. She is turning 18 very soon. And when she says that she wanted to stand up for young people, I understand her. I understand where she's coming from.
For shame, Sheba, for shame.
Esther, Esther, are you able to hear me? Anyone else is able to hear me? Esther, are you able to hear me? Okay, Daniel, can you hear me actually?
Can hear you, Seba.
Okay.
Someone.
I think Esther, let me see if I can drop her back. But Hagai, let's try again. Let's hope you can hear us now. Hagai? Hagai, are you able to hear us? Hagai? Okay, Esther, I see you're back. Are you able to hear us? I need to know, is the problem on my side?
No, I can hear you, Seba. I think maybe it's from there.
Okay, great. I think we shall pick Hagai and Esther later on. But now I want to come to you, Bossman, and I just want to say that I have seen so much movement on the campaign. We have had a series of Twitter Spaces. We are available on all social media platforms. I am. Let me first share the link to the social media platforms on our chat here. But I now want to ask, what has the journey been for you, and what triggered you to say, I think as the lead on this campaign, I can come in, deliver so well, but also, was there like any underlying emotion, any underlying reason that triggered you to say, all right, if it's about peace in my country, I think that I should stand up, I should be the face of it?
All right. Thank you, Seba. I think that is very true. I think for me, I'm a historian, and I'm a student of history, and I really love history. And history is meant to inform our future. And for those of us who've gone through history in Africa, you will realize a lot of conflict that has caused havoc, has caused mass destruction in Africa. And that has been our major problem, as a continent going forward. That's actually been our our biggest problem in terms of how we try to move forward. And if you remember the incident in Rwanda, you can remember the incident in South Sudan, that led to the division, the problems in Ethiopia, and of course the problem that we had as a country in 2007. All these incidences are brought together, should send an alarm to any young in Africa to actually be inspired to steer and spearhead peace. So therefore, looking at towards post-election violence as a young, I was young, and despite the fact that I was young, I'm able to see and here on the, at a distance. But as a student of history, that we were at the verge of doing this. If something wasn't done at that time, we would have lost this country. And sometimes back studying in campus, I happened to study with a young, vibrant man who was at the very heart of the post-election violence back in Nakuru. And for those of us who followed closely of the post-election violence, you realize that Nakuru County was really affected, and was actually, it took the center stage for the post-election violence. And that young man, was displaced from Nakuru, and it's sad that I learned the guy never got to interact with the family again. The young man never had no idea where the rest, family members were. Listening to sad, you realize that peace is very important. Reading on the newspapers, looking back at the documentaries that were documented back then, and even now, you listen to those sad stories and you realize, man, in absence of peace, then you don't have and you can't have natural coexistence if peace is in absentia. Looking at Rwanda, it was about the genocide in Rwanda was as a result of political dispensation, and South Sudan as well. So putting all these stories together, remembering, not be lost on anyone that Kenya is approaching the August Pulse, then you realize one of the very main taglines that should be preached across the East Africa to Kenya is peace, because that is what we today after that election. I think man, I realized that I can lead this, I can be able to organize, I can be able to follow, I can be able to be the face of peace. My young I would want to see a peaceful country after August 9. I would want to see life after August 9. I would want to see business, carry on after August 9. I would want to see education continue after August 9. I'd want to see a peaceful country after August 9. After all, life, it's not a matter of life and death. It's just a competition of ideas, and that is exactly what I would want to be ahead. Be at the very, very of this peace campaign. So, as a man, have dreams beyond Kenya, beyond it, I think the right time for me to and be of this community. I think so far I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I think going forward, I'm going to realize this dream, and lo and behold, we'll have life, we'll have peace, we'll have happiness and joy after August 9 polls, and that is my dream, and each and everyone who is a part of this peace campaign towards Kenya as we approach the August 9 polls. So therefore, that is what I would want to say tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yes, please do hydrate. You have had quite the reflection. I don't know whether now, Hagai, you are able to speak. No, Hagai, we still unfortunately can't hear you. What we are going to do is let's arrange a one-on-one for you and I tomorrow, and we just have a check-in tomorrow morning perhaps, and then we just get your perspective, because I think it's critical for us to get an opinion from the Democratic Republic of Congo on this campaign and how so far interaction has been. I've personally been following on social media, and I've seen that there is quite the engagement, but I also want to know on ground what is the perspective like for young people in the DRC. Liz, Esther, are you able to hear us now?
Yes, I do.
Great. Thank you so much. We shall endure your environment because we really want to hear from you. But Lucia, how, what triggered you as a youth ambassador for the Republic of Burundi to say that, hey, I should be the face of the peace campaign in my country? What was that driving factor for you?
Since I am coming from a post-conflict country, I've always been interested in building, especially when I saw the application for the country mobilizer for the Kenya election campaign, and I saw I had something to contribute. Yes, I'm the EAC youth ambassador to Burundi, but I feel like I want to bring my rock to the building in order to build space in the community, because we are one, we are EAC, and yes, acquiring experience from you, and yeah, learn. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Anita, are you able to hear us? Anita? Okay. Anita, are you able to hear us? All right. So back to you, team. Usually, for those that have been following the Youth Pulse check-in, this was first intended to run 30 minutes, and then we did 45 minutes, which would mean that we are at our mark now. But we can do, we have so far run 50 minutes into this session, which means that we are almost running out of our time. But I just want us now to quick conclusion. Liz, yes. So we are going to come to quick conclusions. And first of all, I want to say that this team is working effortlessly to ensure that we get as many voices for young people standing in solidarity with peace in Kenya as we can. And one of the interventions that we are doing is that we encourage all of you out there to go onto your social media platforms, record a video, a self-recording video. You can do a selfie video. You can type out something that shows your solidarity for Kenya. And when you post it, you can tag Youth for Kenya 2022. That's the handle on all social media accounts. And then you can also close it up with a hashtag Kenya ya Amani. And we shall be able to follow that conversation. Let's show Kenya that they are not standing alone, because I know that next year, I'm sure we shall be now transferring this campaign to Hagai. DRC will most likely be going to their general elections, and we shall stand in solidarity with him and the young people there. And then the other year, I understand Rwanda will also running. So this is going to be something that will replicate for every electoral cycle. It will be really nice for you to see that when you stood with the young people of Kenya, when the turn is for your country, the courtesy is returned, the spirit of solidarity is returned. And this is also, of course, consistent with the idea of integration of the EAC, that it has to be people-centered. And we as young people, we need to be the ones that are the key drivers of this people-centeredness of integration by saying that for every tool that is available to us, we shall deploy it to show every East African young person that, hey, we are a one young East Africa. I also want to say that we are working around mobilizing for this team that I have just introduced to you to go to the Republic of Kenya sometime next month to also go on ground and be able to see for themselves what is really happening. Yeah, we are calling our young people in Kenya, but what is the political temperature on ground? Hopefully, when we do that, we can yet again have another check-in when the whole team is in one place and we see what their perspective is. It's unfortunate that we do not get so much from Esther and Princess and Hagai because of their connectivity. We are going to circle back. We shall reschedule specifically for them and pick their minds on this campaign. That notwithstanding, before I give them the rules of engagement when we say goodbye on the Pulse check-in, I also want to say that I mentioned the two grand events that are happening on the African continent, and I forgot something that is critical, which is the African Peer Review Mechanism Youth Symposium that is going to be hosted next month from, I think, 4th to 9th July. It is going to be hosted in Kampala, Uganda. And again, we shall have, by all means, representation of youth leaders, but also youth ambassadors in the region. And I see, Anita, are you able to hear us now? Okay, Anita is coming from Uganda, but she has terrible internet, not characteristic of this great republic. However, it is now time for us to say our parting words with the audience of the Youth Pulse Check-in. I first of all want to appreciate all of you for keeping this conversation light, keeping it youthful, and throwing in some little banter. I have not forgotten what you did, Eben, about that Kiswahili. But so the rule here is when you are saying goodbye, you say goodbye in your local language, and then you tell us what you have said and exactly what it means, so that we also cultivate that spirit of someone knowing how to say something in your language. I will start with you, Anita. You can say hello and goodbye at the same time, I guess. We stand that you're looking like a true woman in tech.
Anita.
Anita, are you able to hear us?
We probably can't hear her because of the mask.
I think we would have had at least whispers, but I'm no expert of sound
Hi.
engineering. Ah, there you go. Hi, Anita. You're most welcome.
I was right.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the amazing conversation, and I want the discussion any more than it because you guys have been amazing. Think short in my local language. Being multilingual myself, unlike Sebastian.
It has got to be around peace, though. I'm sorry, I'm a dictator on this show.
Pardon? I can't. Oh, I'll just give my parting shot. Murare kurungi kandi mugume n'obusinge. Thank you.
All right. The way Esther is, I mean, the way Chelsea is looking on, they look like she understood what you said.
What does that mean, Seba? We don't know. We don't understand.
Anita, there you go. What does it mean? I see Princess is very happy. Looks like she knows what it meant. Princess, do you want to break it down for us? And then you go next. Princess? Princess, I think you're muted in 2022. Kindly unmute yourself.
Trying. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, so me, good night and stay with peace. That's how I could break it down. I would probably say the same. So, thank you for being with us this evening. It was amazing to be part of this, and we hope you again throughout the entire campaign. And yeah, good night.
Princess, that's your local language, English?
Anita said they could have said.
No, we don't remember what Anita said. Go for it. Look at Eben, very attentive to hear it again. It's actually the same thing. All right. Eben, I'll come to you.
First of all, I just want to point out that even though those words were said twice, I still don't understand what they said.
Baby steps. We are going to have these check-ins more often. We shall learn these languages.
First of all, I want to thank my data service provider for having very stable internet. It's called TTCL. Reliable. I guess apart from the hosts who are Danny and Sebastian, I was the only one with very stable internet. So very good, big thanks to them. Thanks to you guys for hosting the check-in. Since Kiswahili is a very established language in the East African community, then I do not need to translate when I say kwaherini, tutaonana tena baadaye, I think. Yeah.
All right. Whoever didn't understand, just ask me for translation. But while at it, I'll come to you, Chelsea.
First of all, this internet is going to humble us. We are apologizing. But anyways, Eben, you'll have to explain. Nako, you'll have to, explain for us. We don't understand every word. And for us in Kinyarwanda, when we're saying goodbye, it's mirigwe. Yeah, you should try it if you want to learn it.
I'll host Swahili lessons for all of you.
Of course, we need that.
Orakoze chane,
all right, Seba.
Yes. Forgive some of us. We do have the ability to speak some of these languages. Also, asante sana, Eben. Over to you. I know. Unfortunately, we are not going to be hearing any Lingala today. I could tell you some of the Lingala I know, but Google is not bringing me the greeting I wanted to say. So I will jump to you, our campaign manager, to wrap up this for us. Tell us our next steps. Try to call young people in the region on how to engage this campaign. And hopefully the next time I'm here, we shall be playing the Kenya Amani song and not the Yuli Reloaded song. But over to you to close us off, and then we shall have the song one last time.
All right, thank you, Seba, and everyone who've joined in today. Eben, Hagai, Princess, Nemo, she did left earlier on because she had another meeting. Anita also for coming through. Everyone who, and I appreciate your teamwork. You've been amazing. I will not say anything more than that. Otherwise, I appreciate. I think Seba just for a couple of weeks ago, about the Twitter Spaces for Uganda. We had posted Twitter Space for lately for South Sudan, and being able to bring on board people and people from those particular countries to share with us what it really means to have a peaceful election in Kenya. And we've had successful Twitter Spaces right there, and we've had the response very, very positive. And I think going forward, we're also going to have the Twitter Spaces for Kenya, Rwanda, as well as Burundi. And finally, we'll have the DRC man. So all this, combining them to have and stand in solidarity for a peaceful Kenya as we approach the August 9 polls. So I really appreciate. We've also been able to send messages of peace out there across all our social platforms, and the response is amazing. I want to appreciate everyone who's been able to interact with our content online, and keep sharing these messages, keep preaching peace. The ocean is made of droplets, and after August 9, you guys are going to see an ocean after having brought all these droplets together. So we are going to have a countdown coming soon. We are working on that right now. I'll have an electoral countdown towards the elections, and we'll have conveying message of peace from our country mobilizers, as well as the East African Community Youth Ambassadors, as well as leaders, young parliamentarians from across East Africa, all the member states. And we are going to have that countdown towards the election. And I think, as we approach the elections, we'll have, shared quite enough messages to melt our hearts, to achieve the dream that we are all envisioning after August 9. So I think I beg for, cooperation going forward, support this campaign, be part of this campaign, subscribe to the whole idea. And, we are going to have a very, very peaceful East Africa. A peaceful Kenya is a peaceful East Africa, as well as a peaceful Africa. And that is what we want to see after the election. So thank you so much, guys. From me, yours truly, the campaign manager from Kenya, Kajiado County, at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro. My ancestors will be very disappointed if I never mention that. And I think I always want to steer me say that. And have a beautiful view of Mount Kilimanjaro. I know Eben is from Tanzania, but you guys have the mountain, but we have the view. Yes, so I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Let me bid farewell in Kiswahili, because that is the language that is used across East Africa, and I'm very disappointed with Seva because it's not fluent in this particular language. I'm going to see you behind the tent. These are very serious allegations. So nashukuru sana kwa kujitolea kwenu na jumuiya yote ya Umoja wa Afrika Mashariki kwa kujitolea kuhubiri amani wakati huu ambapo Kenya inaelekea katika uchaguzi wa Agosti 9, na nashukuru kwa maana after tumemaliza uchaguzi huu, kila mtu atakuwa anaishi kama dada na ndugu, na tuendelee kupendana, manake uchaguzi unakuja na unaenda, lakini sisi tutabaki hapa hapa kwa nchi hii yetu ya Kenya, umoja wa Afrika Mashariki na Afrika mzima. Asanteni sana. Kenya ya amani.
Thank you so much, and from me too, Kenya ya amani.
Tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika, tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika,
Kwa favor, Africa. Mwishani wote. Bonjour. Mambo.
from country to country, yeah, we gotta work together. We are leaders now, aiming higher for the better. Together, to make our nations greater, we're sharing to the power. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, listen, together we shape young men and women. With the pillars, with the future, here we are. Let's join together with ability to change communities, with love, with peace, to respond to our need, to call for unity. Africa, hear me cry. Never leave me alone. As I see light in a brighter future, let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and
So you
women.
lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, vijana wa Afrika wote waungana, vijana vijana kutoka mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, hata na kati, twaja pamoja ili tufanye nini?